Hello, this is Paul with another video, and this is going to be a challenge video. And this is from Charles at Charles Diecast Garage, and how he described it to me is it's cars that define you or your collecting. So we're going to try to go quick through these cars. I have quite a few here, and we'll, I guess, do it in two categories. We'll do, I guess, collecting, and then there's going to be a second category of cars like from movies that I really liked growing up. So here is the collecting side of it, and here we got a Matchbox Volkswagen, and this is the Dragon Wheels from Matchbox, and this is a casting I had as a kid. It's not the exact one, but I've always been a huge collector of Volkswagens because my dad had one when I was younger, and I've always liked Volkswagens, so I've always had to have this one. This is actually a funny car, and it has the thing to keep the body up. This is an old Matchbox. I'm not sure when it came out. This is Dragon Wheels Super Fast from Matchbox. And then the next one is this Redline Volkswagen Beetle. And this is not the exact one I had as a kid, but the one I had was orange and had a beetle on the roof. And actually the base was plastic. I don't have that one, but this is almost the same casting. It's just I can't remember if mine had the sunroof. It might have. I think it did. So there's that one. And then we're going to show this one. And this is the first treasure hunt I ever received, since I'm a huge Mopar fan and I collect these Chargers. 69 is my favorite. This one I got at I think it was a Walgreens. I went in there looking at the Hot Wheels they had, and then an employee came out and says, I have one in the back room you might like, do you want it? And I said yes, and it was this one. So it was cool that he did it, because I got this for $1. So that was awesome. And then we got two Auto Worlds I'm going to show you. And these are the first Auto Worlds that I ever bought to add to my collection. And this is a Hennessy Camaro. In this red color. And I got this at a Hobby Lobby. First time I ever saw Auto World, and it was too cool to pass up. And then this other one, and this is a Dodge Challenger, and this one I got at Toys R Us, and it was a line that they put out called True LE, which was True Limited Edition, and it's where they destroyed the molds to make this casting so it could never be made again. And you can see it's screwed together, and it has some pretty cool detail. And when this came out, it came in a special packaging, and then it actually had shavings from the tooling in the package. And this was actually, when it came out, it was $20 when it came out, and this is the only model they did for the True LE line, because obviously they didn't sell it, probably because it was too expensive. And this was the only one they made. But the reason I want to keep this one out and show it to you, because like I said, it's screwed down to the base of this one. was actually supposed to be used for the Trulli line, and then they had a Corvette also that they were going to use, but obviously the line didn't continue, so they never destroyed the moldings, or the moldings to these other two models. So there's those two. And then we're going to show you 3 green lights. And these are one of the first green lights I ever bought. And this is a 1970 Dodge Charger, and this is from Greenlight Muscle Car Garage, it was called. And I think this is the Flames, they called it, because it has flames. And this is an awesome piece, and since I'm a big Charger fan, I had to have these. So this is from Greenlight Muscle Car Garage, and so is this one. And this is another 68 in this nice blue color. And this is an RT. You can tell it's 68 by the round taillights. And then the third one is, this is one of the first green machines that I've ever found or received. I got this in a trade. This is also a 68 Charger. You can tell it's a green machine by the base, and the rims are green. So it's so cool to have this model. Okay, and now we're going to look at the movie cars, because I love chase car movies, or movies with cars in them. Well, the first one we're going to look at is actually not a movie, but it was a TV show, and it's the Dukes of Hazzard. And here's the General Lee. And the Dukes of Hazzard first aired in 1979 to 85. And this is actually a Racing Champions. And when I was a kid, I had the General Lee that was put out by Ertl. That was the first General Lee ever put out in 1/64 scale, which I do not have. And this is the closest one to that. Even though this is not a regular 69, they used the Dodge Charger 500 for the General Lee, because you can see how flat the back window is, and the grille is different, and you got no brush guard on there. So this is from my favorite show growing up, the Dukes of Hazzard, and me and my dad couldn't wait for Friday nights when it used to air on CBS. My favorite TV show growing up as a kid, it was the Dukes of Hazzard, and that's why I'm showing that one. And the next one is, I love the movie in the car, and this is the Mad Max, the Interceptor from Mad Max the Road Warrior. The movie came out in 81, starring Mel Gibson, and this was his car in the movie. And this is a cool piece from Greenlight. This is not an official piece for the movie, but Greenlight's known to make chassis that resemble the movie cars best they can without having a license. So this is from Mad Max Road Warrior from 1981. And the next one is the 1977 Pontiac Trans Am from Smokey and the Bandit, which came out in 1977, starring Burt Reynolds, Sally Fields, I just went blank there. Jackie Gleason was also in the movie, and the country singer, which, like I said, I just went blank and I can't think of his name, but I love this movie. And this is the Bandit Trans Am from the movie. And this is a car that Burt Reynolds drove. And his sidekick was Sally Fields. And Buford T. Justice drove his police car, and he's the one that chased the bandit all over. And the next two are going to be from my favorite movie franchise of all time. And it's James Bond. And the first one is the 1976 Lotus Esprit. And this is from the 1977 James Bond film, The Spy Who Loved Me, starring Roger Moore. And he was probably my favorite Bond. And this is the car he drove in the movie. And one of the famous scenes is him driving it off the end of the dock or the pier, and it turning into a submarine. And then he drives it out of the water onto the beach with everybody's amazement. And then the next one is from Goldfinger. And this is the Aston Martin DB5. And Goldfinger came out in '64. And it starred Sean Connery as Bond. And the villain was Goldfinger. And this is the first movie that had the DB5 in it. And it was a cool movie. And I love that franchise. And there's the DB5. And then the next one is this one. And this is the 1968 Mustang GT. And it's from the movie Bullitt, starring Steve McQueen. And it had one of the most significant chase scenes in a movie, where Steve McQueen is driving this Mustang through the streets of San Francisco. And we'll put that there. And the car he is pursuing is this one, a 1968 Dodge Charger in the movie. And what's funny about this scene is they are actually following him, and then Steve McQueen realizes he's being followed, and he kind of drives around and sneaks behind them, and then that proceeds to be the chase scene. And he chases them up and down the hills until they go on the outskirts, and the bad guys drive into a gas station and blow up. And that's it for that car. So that's from Bullitt. And then the last one is from a movie called Dirty Mary and Crazy Larry from 1974. And we are going to show you the 1969 Dodge Charger RT 440. And the one in the movie was actually this color with the stripe. It's just they had mag wheels, I believe. And in that movie, they actually had 3 Dodge Chargers they used. 2 of them were 69s and one was a 68. And it's about 2 guys that want to go NASCAR racing. So they rob a store, and they before they rob a store, they actually kidnap somebody's daughter, and they bribe them out of, I think, $150,000, and they want to use that money to help with their NASCAR career. And this movie had Fonda and Peter Rourke, and I can't think of the female's name, right off the bat, but they start off with a, what was it, a Chevy Impala, souped up. That one gets damaged, so they trade it in for this car, and then they get chased all over the place, and then they end up in Orange Grove. They're chased by some police cars and the police chief in a helicopter, and then the ending scene ends up with them driving this Charger right into a train and exploding, and that's how the ending of the film is, from Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry. So there you go with my video of all the cars that define me, or what I like, and my collecting. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I was glad to make it, and thank you to Charles at Charles Diecast Garage for creating this challenge. Bye.